Is for our Best Friends for Health Award. When the time came to brainstorm fundraising ideas for 7-year-old Jonah's rare liver condition, his best friend, 6-year-old Dylan, had the sweetest idea to help his buddy in need.
Jonah has a very rare liver disease called glycogen storage disease type 1B. It affects 1 out of a million children.
He doesn't eat food like all the other kids. Jonah's getting soup right now through his G-tube so he can get nutrients.
He's not allowed to have any form of sugar that his liver cannot absorb.
After an hour, we check his blood sugars and give him cornstarch.
I can catch the rebound.
Dylan and Jonah met at second year preschool, and they immediately became friends.
We're best friends.
We're in the car talking about Jonah's disease, and Dylan said, I want to write a book, and I'm going to sell my book and make money for Jonah.
When Dylan thought to write a book for me, I felt really very happy.
And the very next day, he came home from school and sat down to write it. And he took stationery out of my drawer because he wanted to write it on nice paper.
Chocolate bar by Dylan Secret. I like to go to the beach, that's so chocolate bar. I like to go swimming, that's so chocolate bar.
Chocolate bar means awesome. And Dylan's been saying it for quite some time, and every time something is cool or something's interesting or neat, he goes, that's so chocolate bar.
And he handed it over to me and said, here, can you go Xerox this?
So Dylan brought us the book, and he said, Daddy, can you take it to work and make some copies, and let's go sell it. So there happened to be a school fundraiser, and for 2.5 hours that day at the school fundraiser, Jonah and Dylan sat and sold over 200 books and ended up raising over $5,000.
I can't believe how many it sold. Jonah's so chocolate bar.
Please welcome the recipients for our Best Friends for Health Award, author Dylan and his best friend, Jonah. I'm gonna lay this down here, and I want you all to show everyone what you were doing before. What's the thing you do when you're squeezing each other's cheeks? What is that?
Chocolate bar.
Is that pretty chocolate bar?
Yeah.
Well, I want to see it. Can I see it again? So chocolate bar. Love that. So how much money you guys raised so far?
Over $30,000.
Whoa! And how much money are you hoping to raise?
$1 million.
Oh yeah, $1 million. Nice.
That's pretty chocolate bar, guys.
Totally chocolate bar.
And you know who I know thinks your whole idea was pretty chocolate bar? Your parents. And we have both of their parents here joining us on their special day. Please welcome Rabin and Laura, as well as Deborah and David. So, Deborah, how proud you must be of Dylan to have done this. This is such a cool thing.
It's incredible. You know, Dylan is this compassionate and passionate little dynamo, as we call him. He's so determined, and if anybody can raise $1 million and find a cure for this rare disease, it's Dylan. So,
I love you guys. You guys are awesome. But for those of you just tuning in, what Jonah has is very rare. Only about 300 people in the U.S. have glycogen storage disease 1B. And I'm going to show you what happens in the body. Every time you eat some food, the sugar in that food gets broken down by the body and gets stored in the liver as glycogen. Now, normally, the liver's job is to help maintain blood sugar levels by slowly releasing that sugar into the body throughout the day between meals to keep the levels stable. But somebody with glycogen storage disease type 1B, their liver lacks the enzyme responsible for releasing that glucose into the body. So instead, the glycogen just slowly builds up in the liver, and the liver just continues to swell, swell, and swell. And since the glucose isn't getting into the body, the blood sugar drops. You get very hungry, you get shaky and jittery, and unless you eat something, your blood sugar can get dangerously low. It can even get fatal. And Mom and Dad, I know, knowing that there's no cure, are you hoping this book will really raise awareness and eventually lead to a cure?
Absolutely. The cure is on the horizon, and we hope that sooner than later, and with the help of Dylan and the book, we will raise $1 million and ultimately get our cure.
Yeah, and I know it's going to happen. Because we know the enzyme that causes it. We know the problem. It's just getting to the fix.
And hey guys, you guys want to do a little reading here for our viewers? Do you want to read part of your book?
I like to go to the aquarium. That is so chocolate bar. I like to go bowling. That is so chocolate bar. I like to go to the arcade. That is so chocolate bar. I like to out my friends. That is the biggest chocolate bar.
Yeah.
This book is officially full on the sweetest chocolate bar you've ever seen or had. And we are going to have a link on our website, thedoctorstv.com, if you want to get a copy and buy the chocolate bar and help out in this wonderful cause and help out the first ever recipients of our Best Friends for Health Award, Dylan and Jonah.
Yeah, you guys.
High five, guys. Thank you for being...
Give some to me. Oh, yeah.
We'll be right back.
You guys are so awesome.
Up next, Best Supporting Spouse and the Lifetime Achievement Award in our first annual Doctors Against All Odds Award Show.